What happens when the person you trust the most turns into your worst nightmare? This case will make you question everything you think you know about friendship and loyalty. In 2010, Monica Harris burst into a hospital carrying a lifeless newborn, claiming she had suffered a tragic premature birth. But when doctors asked to examine her, she refused, raising immediate suspicions. At the same time, a pregnant woman named Lisa Carter and her 3 young children were reported missing, sending shockwaves through the small town of Cedar Springs, Missouri. As investigators dug deeper, they uncovered a series of disturbing truths, secrets so dark that even the most experienced detectives were left in disbelief. By the end of this video, you'll be left wondering, what truly drives someone to commit such unthinkable acts? Monica Harris and Lisa Carter had known each other since they were kids. They weren't related by blood, but they called each other sisters. Growing up in the same tight-knit, struggling neighborhood, they had always looked out for each other. People who knew them described them as quiet, reserved, and inseparable. In a town where many faced tough challenges, Monica and Lisa found comfort and stability in their friendship. But behind closed doors, both girls were battling their own personal demons. Lisa had a rough childhood, bouncing between foster homes and temporary shelters. Stability was a luxury she never had. But despite the hardships, she stayed in school and dreamed of a better future, one that didn't involve poverty and struggle. Monica, on the other hand, had a very different upbringing. She was raised by a strict single mother who enforced tight curfews and harsh punishments. But instead of keeping Monica out of trouble, it only pushed her further into rebellion. By the time she was 14, Monica was already making headlines for all the wrong reasons. She had been arrested multiple times for assaulting her own mother and getting into violent fights at school. One particularly shocking incident involved Monica setting fire to their kitchen during an argument, something her mother later described in chilling detail. Despite all the red flags, Lisa stood by Monica's side. They had built a friendship out of survival, leaning on each other through breakups, financial struggles, and motherhood. Both women became young mothers. Lisa gave birth to her first child, Daniel, at 17. Then came 2 more, Isaiah in 2005 and Ava in 2007. Though she struggled to provide for her kids, Lisa was determined to be a great mother. She even saved up money to buy a used car and enrolled in community college, hoping to one day become a photographer. But her struggles weren't over. She temporarily lost custody of her children after disciplining her eldest son with a belt. However, she worked hard to regain her parental rights, taking mandatory parenting classes and proving to the courts that she was ready to raise her kids. Eventually, she got them back, hoping for a fresh start. Meanwhile, Monica's journey into motherhood was equally tumultuous, but for entirely different reasons. She had her first baby at 16 and a second one just a year later. But instead of embracing motherhood, Monica's behavior took a dark turn. In 2003, she lost custody of both of her children after horrifying reports of child abuse surfaced. A neighbor recalled seeing Monica holding her infant daughter limp in her arms, describing the baby as motionless, like a rag doll. Medical examinations later confirmed that the child had suffered a severe brain injury. By the time Monica's firstborn turned 7, the damage was irreversible. The little girl couldn't speak properly, still wore diapers, and had serious developmental delays. Yet in 2008, Monica regained custody of both daughters, despite her disturbing history of neglect. With Lisa and Monica both navigating the struggles of young motherhood, their friendship remained strong. Or so Lisa thought. Lisa had always been the more responsible of the two. She took care of her kids, paid her bills on time, and tried to stay on the right path. Monica, however, was a ticking time bomb, a woman who couldn't hold down a job, had frequent run-ins with the law, and refused to take accountability for her actions. Despite Lisa's loyalty, Monica harbored jealousy. She saw Lisa's progress, her ambition, her happy family, and resented every bit of it. Then came 2010, the year that would change everything. Lisa was pregnant again, expecting her 4th child. But what she didn't know was that Monica was also claiming to be pregnant. But there was a problem. Monica wasn't actually pregnant. She had been faking her pregnancy for months, lying to her boyfriend, her family, and everyone around her. Then, on one horrific night, Monica made a monstrous decision, one that would shock the entire community. She showed up at the local hospital, carrying a newborn baby in her arms. She claimed that she had just given birth, but when doctors asked to examine her, she refused. At the same time, Lisa and her 3 children were reported missing. As investigators began to connect the dots, they stumbled upon a truth more horrifying than they ever could have imagined. What really happened to Lisa and her children? Was Monica's sudden pregnancy connected to Lisa's disappearance? How did a lifelong friendship turn into something so deadly? By 2010, Monica Harris had managed to regain custody of her 2 daughters. The Missouri Department of Child Welfare had decided that Monica was no longer a danger to her children, allowing her to reclaim the parental rights she had lost years earlier. For Monica, it felt like a second chance, a new beginning. But life had other plans. That same year, at just 23 years old, Monica found herself in trouble again. This time, she was arrested for possession of a stolen credit card, further cementing her troubled reputation. While Monica's world spiraled further into chaos, Lisa Carter's life looked completely different. Lisa had found a steady routine for herself and her 3 children. Although she wasn't wealthy, she had built a safe and loving home for her kids in a quiet neighborhood in Cedar Springs, Missouri. Lisa was a protective mother, rarely letting her children play outside without strict supervision. Whenever they did step outside, Lisa was always nearby, usually perched on a milk crate by the front door, watching their every move. Her children's happiness was simple, a worn-out green tractor toy that they shared with the neighborhood kids. It was small, but in their world it meant everything. Every morning, Lisa walked her children to the school bus stop, ensuring they got on safely. She was 7 months pregnant, eagerly awaiting the arrival of her baby girl. Lisa had big dreams for herself and her growing family. She had plans to go back to school, to build a better future. She was hopeful, excited, and full of life. Little did she know, her best friend had something far more sinister planned. Despite their different lives, Lisa and Monica remained close friends. Lisa trusted Monica so much that she even let her babysit her kids when she needed a break. It seemed like nothing could shake their friendship. Until September 14th, 2010. That evening, Monica made a frantic call to 911, claiming that she had just given birth to a stillborn baby in Evergreen Park, a quiet, secluded area on the outskirts of Cedar Springs. When she arrived at the hospital, something felt off. She refused to let doctors examine her, a massive red flag. Doctors and nurses were immediately suspicious. If Monica had truly just given birth, why was she so adamant about avoiding medical attention? As investigators began questioning her, Monica's story kept changing. At first, she claimed she had been sexually assaulted, then denied it completely. No one had even known she was pregnant, except for her boyfriend, Keith Horn, who was stationed in the Navy. Doctors conducted an autopsy on the infant, but found no signs of trauma and no clear cause of death. After that night, Monica walked out of the hospital, leaving behind a dead newborn. Her next move was even more disturbing. Just days after her mysterious hospital visit, Monica arranged a funeral for the baby, a baby she named Alyssa Horn. On September 19th, she held the service. But something fell off. The funeral director noted Monica's bizarre behavior right away. Just minutes before the ceremony, she suddenly asked to reschedule, saying she wanted more family members to attend. That seemed strange, considering only 2 relatives had even shown up. To make things even weirder, Monica arrived 2 hours late. Not exactly the grieving mother you'd expect. Among the few people at the funeral was Keith Horn, Monica's boyfriend. He had rushed back from the Navy, thinking that he was burying his own daughter. But as this eerie funeral played out, something even more chilling was happening in the background. Lisa's family was getting worried. She hadn't been answering her phone, responding to messages, or showing up at her usual places. At first, her loved ones assumed she was just busy. But when days passed with no sign of her, panic set in. By September 20th, Lisa's relatives filed a missing persons report. When police started reaching out to friends and neighbors, they quickly discovered a disturbing pattern. The last person to see Lisa and her 3 children was Monica Harris. Police immediately questioned Monica, but her answers were vague. She claimed that she hadn't seen Lisa in days, but her nervous behavior and contradictory statements made police suspicious. Then, investigators dug deeper into her phone records and found something shocking. The night Lisa disappeared, Monica had been calling and texting her repeatedly. Police knew they had to act fast. A search party was organized to scour Cedar Springs for Lisa and her children. Meanwhile, police got a warrant to search Monica's home. What they found inside her house would change the course of the investigation forever. But what was Monica hiding? How was her mysterious stillborn baby connected to Lisa's disappearance? And why had Monica gone to such bizarre lengths to put on a fake funeral? Stick around for part 3, where we uncover the chilling discovery that shocked everyone. The funeral for baby Alyssa Horn had just ended when Monica Harris dropped a bombshell on her boyfriend, Keith Reynolds. A confession so horrifying that it sent his mind reeling. She casually mentioned that she had cut the baby out of her best friend, Lisa Carter. At first, Keith thought he must have misheard her. But Monica wasn't joking. She said it so matter-of-factly, as if she were talking about something routine. The words hit Keith like a ton of bricks. He felt a cold rush of panic surge through his body. He had so many questions. Was Lisa still alive? Had Monica really committed such an unthinkable act? He knew he couldn't stay silent. Without hesitating, he grabbed his phone and dialed 911. Authorities immediately launched an investigation. Lisa Carter and her 3 children had been missing for 6 days. Everyone had been desperately searching for answers. Now, it seemed like they had finally found the missing piece of the puzzle, and it was far worse than anyone had imagined. That evening, police combed the area around Monica's home. Within hours, they stumbled upon a gruesome scene. Lisa's lifeless body was found hidden in tall weeds, just a few blocks away from Monica's house. Next to her body, investigators found a pair of blood-stained scissors. It was a horrifying confirmation of what Keith had told them. Monica had butchered her best friend. That same night, Monica was arrested. Sitting in the interrogation room, she began to unravel the chilling details of what she had done. It all started on September 14th, 2010. That afternoon, Lisa, 7 months pregnant, had gone to Monica's house for what she thought was just another friendly visit. But Monica had other plans. Lisa had no idea that her best friend had been planning this for weeks. As Lisa sat in the living room, Monica grabbed a heavy wooden table leg and smashed it against Lisa's head. She didn't stop. She kept swinging, hitting her again and again until Lisa collapsed, unconscious. Then, Monica pulled out a roll of duct tape. She tied Lisa's hands and feet together, making sure she couldn't move. At one point, Lisa began to wake up. She tried to fight. She tried to scream. But Monica was ready for that. She struck Lisa again and taped her mouth shut to silence her. Then, she dragged Lisa's body into the bathroom. And in an act of pure horror, Monica took a pair of scissors and cut Lisa open. Lisa was still alive during the brutal makeshift C-section. She bled out on the bathroom floor, unable to stop what was happening. Monica removed the baby, wrapped her in a towel, and left Lisa to die. After the unimaginable act, Monica wrapped Lisa's body in a shower curtain, dragged it outside, and dumped it in an empty lot. She acted as if nothing had happened. She took the baby to the hospital, claiming she had suffered a traumatic miscarriage. She even planned a funeral to solidify her lie. But there was still one more horrifying mystery to be solved. Where were Lisa's 3 children? When news of Monica's arrest spread, panic gripped the community. Lisa's kids, Dion, Jaden, and little Alana, had also vanished. No one had seen them since Lisa disappeared. Had Monica killed them too? The next morning, on September 22nd, police rushed to Lisa's apartment. They were desperate for clues, anything that could help them find the missing children. Lisa's boyfriend, Marcus Shaw, was brought in for questioning again. He told police that the last time he saw the kids was 3 days earlier, on September 18th. And the last person they had been with? Monica. It was the break investigators needed. Police confronted Monica, demanding to know what she had done with the children. She sat silent at first, avoiding eye contact. Then, in a calm voice, she told them exactly where to look. The next morning, investigators returned to Lisa's apartment. But what they found inside was worse than anyone could have imagined. As investigators stepped into Lisa Carter's apartment, a putrid stench filled the air. The officers stopped in their tracks, their instincts telling them something was terribly wrong. And then they saw it. The naked, decomposing bodies of Lisa's 3 children were hidden inside the apartment's appliances, 2 crammed inside the washing machine, and a third stuffed into the dryer. They had been there for 5 long days. It was a devastating realization. The police had searched the apartment just the day before and unknowingly walked right past the horrifying scene. Now, there was no denying the truth. Monica Harris had not only killed Lisa and stolen her baby, she had murdered Lisa's 3 innocent children as well. Monica's chilling confession. In custody, Monica admitted to everything. Just 3 days before Lisa's funeral, on September 18th, she set her final plan into motion. She told Lisa's boyfriend, Marcus Shaw, a cruel lie, that Lisa had asked Monica to take the children for a while. Marcus, still desperately searching for answers about Lisa's disappearance, had no reason to doubt Monica. And so, he let her take the kids. She picked up 7-year-old Dion, 2-year-old Jaden, and 10-month-old Alana. From the outside, it seemed like just another babysitting visit. But Monica knew exactly what she was about to do. That evening, Monica took the children into the bathroom. She told them it was bath time, luring them into a false sense of safety. One by one, she held them underwater in the very same bathtub where she had murdered their mother. Some reports suggest she gave them cough syrup first, possibly to make them sleepy and easier to control. When they stopped struggling, she wrapped their tiny bodies in towels and stuffed them inside the washer and dryer, as if they were nothing more than objects to be hidden away. She then locked the apartment and walked away, pretending like nothing had happened. Monica never gave a reason for why she murdered Lisa's children. And perhaps the most chilling part of all, she never showed any remorse. To this day, many unanswered questions surround this case. Why would Monica do this? Did she truly believe she could get away with it? Had she planned to raise Lisa's stolen baby as her own, or was this just a twisted revenge fantasy? And the biggest question of all, did Monica even suffer a miscarriage in the first place? Or was she never pregnant at all? Investigators found no medical evidence that Monica had ever been expecting a child. Had she fabricated the entire story just to lure Lisa into her trap? Or was this something even darker, an act of pure jealousy and hatred toward her best friend? The lack of motive made the case all the more terrifying. On September 29th, 2010, Lisa Carter's funeral took place. Over 700 people gathered, mourning the bright, loving mother and her 3 beautiful children. Friends and family shared stories about Lisa's kindness, her laughter, and the deep love she had for her kids. Each of Lisa's children was remembered for their unique personalities. Dion, the oldest, who always tried to be the man of the house. Jaden, the energetic toddler, who loved dinosaurs and trucks. Baby Alana, just 10 months old, who barely got to experience life. The community was devastated, but they came together. In just 3 days, they raised over $300,000 to cover funeral costs. Lisa and her children were gone, but they would never be forgotten. At first, Monica pleaded not guilty. This led to a psychiatric evaluation, but the state wasn't taking any chances. They announced they would be seeking the death penalty. Monica was assigned a new defense attorney, one experienced in capital cases. Her lawyer, James Gormley, argued that Monica suffered from serious mental health issues and had an IQ in the mid-70s, bordering on intellectual disability. But the prosecution wasn't buying it. On June 10, 2012, Monica Harris was sentenced to life in prison without parole for 5 counts of first-degree murder. It seemed like justice had been served, but Monica wasn't done fighting. In September 2013, she tried to take it all back, claiming that her lawyer had failed her. She insisted she was innocent and that her confession had been coerced. Thankfully, the courts shut her down. She filed another appeal in 2017, claiming her attorneys failed to investigate her mental health properly. Again, the courts denied her request. Even in prison, Monica refused to take responsibility for what she had done. And that may be the most disturbing part of all. What do you think? Even after pleading guilty, Monica Harris refused to accept her fate. She fought her conviction for years, arguing that she wasn't in her right mind when she murdered Lisa Carter and her children. But was this a case of true mental illness, or just another desperate attempt to escape justice? Monica didn't stop fighting her conviction even after being sentenced to life in prison without parole. In 2015 and 2016, she filed multiple appeals, claiming that her mental state hadn't been properly evaluated at the time of the murders. Her legal team argued that a crucial psychiatric report, one that might have changed the entire case, wasn't received by the court until 2 days after she had already pled guilty. This report painted a dark picture of Monica's mental health, diagnosing her with psychotic disorder, schizophrenia, post-traumatic stress disorder, PTSD, bipolar disorder, mood disorder, mild intellectual disability. With these diagnoses in hand, Monica insisted that she wasn't mentally competent when she committed the murders or when she pled guilty. She was given more time to revise her petition, and her legal team kept pushing for a reversal. But in 2017, the court shut down her appeal, ruling that she didn't meet the legal requirements for post-conviction relief. Monica refused to accept it. She appealed again, claiming her lawyer had failed to amend her petition properly. Then in 2020, she won the right to refile, meaning this case could drag on for years. Today, Monica Harris sits behind bars at Logan Correctional Center in Lincoln, Illinois. At 42 years old, she will spend the rest of her life in prison. But for Lisa's family, the legal battles bring little comfort. Knowing Monica is in prison isn't enough, because nothing can undo the horrific crime she committed. Lisa's stillborn baby girl was later exhumed and reburied alongside her mother and siblings, a heartbreaking reminder of just how much was stolen that day. Their deaths should never have happened. The bigger questions. This case stands as one of the most disturbing crimes ever committed by a woman. Monica didn't just kill. She betrayed, manipulated, and destroyed lives in the most cruel and calculated way possible. And it leaves us with so many unanswered questions. Should mental illness excuse murder? If Monica was truly sick, does that mean she shouldn't be held fully responsible? Or is this simply pure evil? There's also another big question. Is life in prison enough? Some believe she should have received the death penalty for taking the lives of 5 innocent people. Others argue that rotting in prison for decades is a worse fate than execution. What do you think? Did Monica deserve a harsher punishment? Or is life in prison already more than she deserves? This case is a chilling reminder that no one is truly safe from betrayal. Lisa trusted Monica. She let her into her life, believed she was a true friend, and even allowed her near her children. And that trust cost her everything. It makes you wonder, how well do we really know the people around us? Could someone in your life be hiding dark intentions? Let us know what you think in the comments below. Support this channel. If you enjoy deep dive true crime stories, don't forget to like this video, subscribe for more shocking cases. Hit the notification bell so you never miss an update. This case may be closed, but the pain it left behind will never fade. Thank you for watching. Stay safe out there.